What is up, everyone? So just finished up the trading day about an hour or so ago. I did take another trade, like, I don't know, not even 2 minutes ago, because I saw a really good opportunity. Um, but time to just kind of dive into the trades I took for today. So the first trade I took, I was waiting like about 40 or so minutes, which I really haven't waited that long to enter a position, honestly. You can see I did take an entry right here on 262, and I was able to secure my profits. Um, and the reason why I entered there is, just give me 1 second. If we look at the 144 time frame, we can see that we had a retracement back into this area. So based off this candle, the first down close candle, and we have this high that's formed, we have this low that is formed as well, and we get that tiny high and that tiny low that forms inside the 144 range in that retracement zone, which is exactly what we're looking for. So I saw this and I was like, okay, cool, let me just wait for a retracement back into this blue zone. So you can see that we get that retracement here, and typically I do enter a little early on the time frame below. So like in this case, I would like be looking at the 21R for an early entry. But I didn't do that in this case. I just kind of waited for the 34R, because these past couple days, if I enter early, but then I kind of have been getting stopped out. So I just wanted to, play it safe, play it cool, make sure that 34R was able to close, which it does close, and I was able to get a fill in at 25 to 62.25, and I was able to secure my profits. And after that trade, I was like, all right, yeah, I'm done. But as I was kind of editing my live video, I noticed that on the largest time frame I use, let me get rid of these fib levels first. So on the largest time frame I use is the 610 range. So excuse me. So if we look at the 610 range, this white bar right here is the close of yesterday's market session. So this first down close candle is from the overnight session, and like the first few minutes of market open during New York Live. Not New York Live, New York Market Open. So if we just, draw our fibs, we can see that we retrace back into this zone, into the retracement area. So now that we retrace into that retracement area, we have to look at the time frame that aligns with the 610 range. And for me, it's going to be the 144 range bar. So I was looking, and I already took my entry on the 144 range bar right here, because one, we're in that retracement area on the largest time frame, so it's fine. Two, we retrace into that 144 area, so on the lower time frame on 34R, I felt pretty safe that we were going to be pushing down a little bit. But we did have somewhat of a major push to the upside, and I say major because it moved from 210 all the way up to almost 290, so that's almost 80 points. So to me, that's pretty decent move. So we had a decent move to the upside. We're coming in this demand zone that I had drawn out here in the green, and it seems like at that moment price was wanting to push higher, but you can see I did have this zone right here that's kind of a little hard to see. This is just denoting that that's a low volume node. So at the low volume nodes, there's these sort of reactions, or sometimes price can have a hard time passing that zone. So I kind of just have that there just to have in the back of my head, be like, okay, you know what? In order to get to the 310s area, because I think the point of control for this week was around 312, 313. So in order to get to the 312 area, we would have to be able to break this, but we weren't able to break it. And you can see that the 144 candle kind of closed pretty bearish. It had some decent order flow. that was signaling bearish to me. And you can also see the number up here is a 0.99, and it's highlighted in this magenta color. So to me, that signals, all right, might have to switch my bias to the shorts. But at the same time, on the 233, like around here, we were kind of in that retracement area to the longs. So I had to be very careful. So I had to make sure, like, a lot of things aligned. And since we were in that retracement area on the 610 range bar, then we retraced back into the 144 range bar. I felt fine. I felt confident for this quick little scalp right here. So then I saw that and I was like, all right, I'm done for the day. And as I said, as I was editing my video, I saw my model occur on larger time frames. So as I was saying before, we were in that 610 range bar retracement area right here. We retraced back into there. So I already took my one entry, and I was like, fine for the day. But then as time went on and I came back to my computer around, I don't know, maybe half an hour or so later, I saw an opportunity on the 144, which is literally my model to the exact T. So I can make this bigger, so we're just looking at this one chart. So we can see that a high is formed way up here. Then we have a low that's formed down here. We do not break this high or this low before we make a tiny high and a tiny low. And you can see I just draw that zone out by this purple rectangle. And all I was kind of waiting for while I was editing and just just watching some YouTube was just a retracement back into the zone. And you can see we don't really retrace back into the zone. We kind of keep pushing to the downside a little bit. But right here, we get that retracement. So we have that nice down close candle on the 144. And then we kind of get like somewhat of a retracement back into there. But nothing really showed. Nothing was too promising until... Let me get rid of this fib level so things are clear. So look, we kind of just tapped that retracement zone area. And if we look at the 34, which we correlate with the 144 time frame, you can see up here that we're now in that area. And right here, we do not get our model, so we didn't enter. And I was kind of just waiting for my model entry. So what we do next is we say, okay, on to the next one. So here, what happens? Let's see. We get a retracement, but we don't perfectly touch that retracement area, but we were fairly close. We were a couple points off. And to me, this is, it's fine because I had high conviction that we were still going to be going to the downside because... we're going based off the 610 time frame, and in order for that 610 time frame to kind of become a down close candle like it does right here, it's got to go all the way down to the almost -3 area of the 144 time frame that this fib level is based off of, if that made any sense. I know it's a little confusing, but yeah, I saw this, and we have the high formed right here. We have that low that's formed right there. We get a tiny high and a tiny low that's formed. Now, yes, I could have entered at this candle close because we do kind of pop back in and we get that confirmed close right here. But I did not because the 21 range still didn't close outside of this zone. So I wanted to wait. I wanted to be patient. And then since price didn't really come back yet, but the 144 range bar closed, I was thinking like, okay, you know what? I do believe we're going to keep going down like a good amount. So what I do is I enter. Unfortunately, I enter like at the very bottom. Right there, you can see at the very bottom before it kind of bounces up. So I was in a little bit of drawdown. But I also only took this trade on my new take profit accounts because, we can try to pass the evaluation to get the funded accounts. So unfortunately, I did take an entry right down there. My stops are above the high. I definitely should have waited a little bit till we kind of got closer into here. But we never perfectly touch this zone. And you can see price does move down, and I am able to secure my profits right here for the just quick 10-point profit. I definitely could have aimed for more. As you can see, we just kept going down, down, down. Definitely could aim for more, but did I really need to? No. There's really no need to. But I did have, pretty strong conviction that we were going to be going down a lot from this original zone, which is around 225, 190. I had strong conviction we were going to go down like almost another 600 ticks, which we do. And the 600 ticks is like 150 points. Yeah, we go from like 190 or 25, 190 to 25, 30. So that's over 150 points. Just about. Which is, like 600 ticks or so. And dang, I forgot to put my tunes on again in the background. That's so unfortunate. Because, the video is just about to be over now. But anyways, so those were the two trades I took. I only took 2 trades today. They were both winners. No break-even trades or anything. We love that. But yeah, so just keep staying tuned and just follow my progress. Peace.